Hey everybody, hey.
DOS 514. They're shutting it down. They're shutting it all down. In May, I don't I don't know how I'm gonna cope. I don't know how I'm gonna cope. And I'm over it.
Hey everybody, check it out. What's up? It's Heracles, Porsche's professional intro. Yay!
What's up, everybody? It's Heracles Porsche here, also known as Guildlock, and as I'm sure you guys know, this is not a troll. Especially for anybody who's logged in, you've seen the announcement for yourself. Dust 514 will be shutting down, like I said, on May 31st, 2016. And this is real. This is really happening. So that gives us what? 117 days left to play this game. Probably 116 by the time the first person sees this video. But regardless, this is going through. And let me just tell you guys what I'm feeling. Weirdly enough, no, honestly, I'm just feeling relief. I'm just feeling relieved at this point. And I mean, I'm just gonna tell you some basic facts about my YouTube channel here. I've been covering Dust for 1 year, 1 month, and 1 day since I first started covering stuff in Dust 514. That was my What Are Apex Suits video. I did actually do my first review of an Apex suit a little bit before that, but that was basically when I first started covering content in Dust 514. And then the channel just started out as just wanting to cover a few niche things that seemed to have had been, neglected by, the YouTubers at the time. A lot of coverage of this game had dropped off, and I kind of wanted to come in, to fill that gap. And then, I just covered more and more and more. And, I don't know, somewhere along the way, I made the decision that I wanted to talk about this game and cover this game a lot on a really regular basis. And, this game existed for a couple years and was covered by a lot of people before I came here, but I had both the privilege and consternation of covering Dust's Twilight period. And I'm not talking about the vampires. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked here. But anyway, yep. But no, yeah, really relieved because, like I said, I kind of made that decision conscious, somewhere along the line that I wanted to be that guy. That made Dust 514, a part of my life. And it stagnated somewhere along the way. Dust 514 stagnated. Um, there were different. I mean, the game already had problems with the stagnation before I came here, but it had problems with, I think the last time we had a major patch was July 6th, and then the game stopped. And then a lot less energy started going into player events, and then they didn't, and then the real death throes rang when we didn't even get a market update. When they're not even putting energy into the things that make them money, that's a pretty powerful sign that things are on their last legs. And you can get a sense for it. You can get a sense that things are over even before they're officially announced. It was the conjecture that a lot of people made and was never unreasonable, but guessing something over is the same as knowing for absolutely certain that it's over. So it's nice to have answers as to where all that energy from CCP Shanghai has been going. It really actually is. But now my feelings on the new there hasn't been an official title for the next Eve FPS that they are working on um, is not Eve Legion anymore. That project was canceled and replaced by something else. And I'm just my thoughts on it ending up as a PC only game. Well, I'm not thrilled. Like I'm sure many people who play Dust 514 are. I'm a console guy. I like my consoles. Um, I don't actually even own a PS4, but I would have bought one to play the next Eve FPS game a lot more eagerly than I would have bought a brand new gaming PC. I can tell you that much. But that leads me into the next. The only thing left we have to speculate on is the tiered reward systems that were announced. There's going to be something in it for you. If you've been loyal to Dust 514 and you want to play the next FPS set in the EVE Online universe, you're going to get a tiered reward system. And we can speculate and make a lot of safe speculations that the rewards will be some kind of mix of, you know, time spent and money invested. Very likely it'll be based on the current ranks that we all hold in the game, as that's a pretty good, summary of those two things combined, although it leans a lot more heavily on the money invested, which is let's be honest, is probably what those CCP folks care about. But it's all just conjecture. We have to speculate on whether we keep our Apex suits or blueprints or um, SP pools or Aurum or literally everything in the game. We have no idea if we'll get it back in a form or shape that even remotely resembles the form or shape we have those things in now. It's all just speculation as to what those rewards would be if we even want to go on and play that next EVE Online FPS. And like I said, I haven't ruled it out. If if there's enough games I want to play on PC, I'll buy a gaming PC at some point. But you know, um, no, it's all just conjecture. And I'd be deeply, deeply surprised if we got anything remotely like concrete news on what way, shape, or form that will take anytime soon. I'm definitely not going to be holding my breath for that. But let's finish this off talking about where Dust is at the time that it's closing. Let's start talking about the negatives, just so I can end with the positive note. Dust 514. The biggest problem, I mean, game to game, is it can suffer from stagnation, and this game uh, is a little sad because despite how much my team is dominating the map, this is still a more stimulating game than most. A lot of games become in Dust 514 become lopsided affairs that are very understimulating. So it's just the harsh truth. I don't want to poo-poo this game. There's a lot I really like about it. I really like the whole idea of designing your own suit. I really like a lot of the weapons are interesting. The fact that equipment is such an important part of this game, and teamwork and tactics and strategy. You know, they made it a game for intelligent people, but they didn't make an action-packed game. This is the harsh truth. And now in just a moment you're going to see an orbital. Now this is just the versions that the Dust players can generate themselves. There was a really cool version that we could get from the EVE Online players, but that is another aspect of the game that's stagnated. This is one of, still, in spite of it not being one of the EVE versions, this is one of the cooler aspects of the game. This is the most action you're going to see all game. This is fantastic. Who doesn't love watching an orbital? But, and almost killed myself with that. But then as soon as this is done, as soon as I've given the enemy team their major pounding, you can kind of watch the action peter off a little bit. And that's not good. It's kind of an action game without action is, you know, there's just it's you guys get what I'm saying. Whoever came up with the idea of a 15-second spawn time and then a long run back, there's Dust 514 was not a was not named with an exciting name. There's boring moments in Dust 514, just putting it plainly. And I had a lot of great ideas, but every so once in a while, it's really boring to play a game of Dust 514. But then again, every once in a while, it's great. And the planetary conquest idea, there's been a lot of great planetary conquest games I've played when we actually can set up something with equal competition. Or if it's not about competition, we've had great player events, like the Commando events, when players themselves just got creative. And so, yeah, I can understand the urge for a fresh start. When we've done it, we've had a lot of cool ideas, but the execution is not always masterful. I can understand the urge to start over. Like I said, not happy about not seeing anything on a console, but I'm happy to have all the answers now. Anyway, I don't know what else I can say about my emotions about this game that isn't restating itself. But I look forward to the time ahead in Dust, to our last 117 days. I think this is a time people will get creative. When people know that an opportunity is about to close, there's a really great chance that people will get creative. I think these last few months could see some of the best creative period from the Dust 514 community. I already know there's a lot of players talking to me today about um, creating all kinds of player events, and that's really encouraging and should make for really great footage for this last 4 months that Dust 514 does exist. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think people are gonna start throwing a lot of cool stuff out there just because they know it's their last chance. And let me tell you, the competition today was brutal and a lot of frustrating lopsided games, but everyone's using up their officer gear. I have a feeling a lot of that stuff might run out halfway through because people are so easy to make sure they didn't waste that opportunity. And like I said, brutal games, but I think that mentality could spill over to a lot of interesting moments that people create when they know it's their very last chance. So like I said, a weird kind of relief, a little bit of consternation over the only being a PC thing, but I'm trying to stay upbeat about it, as I'm sure a lot of people are, and a lot of very mature responses in the forums. Not all of them, but until next time, Dusties, I shall see you Starside.